Hey friends, it is me, LaQuette Charnel Pringle, owner and founder of Fearless Young Artist Studios. Welcome back to the mat. We are going to be beginning the main set of the onset technique, which means we are going to begin on our backs in a big letter X. I'll meet you on the mat here. I'm gonna turn to many different angles, as you are well aware of from the foam rolling exercise and series, yeah? I'm gonna make sure that I'm turning the different sides so that as you are watching this video back, you will be able to see like what my body is doing so that you can also follow suit. Cool? Cool, cool, cool. So to begin, I'm gonna start with a little bit of flexion through the feet. I'm going to, roll my head down towards my chest, yeah. And that made me want to go into my lower spine, which lets me know that today we're going to give a little bit more love there before we get to our back. I'm going to let my head lengthen up nice and tall. Oh, my eyes are closed. Turning the focus inward. Bringing the neck back on top of my spine. I'm going to give myself a little rock side to side. Now I'm going to bring my chin down towards my spine, still lengthening up nice and tall on top of those sits bones. Feet are nice and flexed, no tension through the quadriceps. Give those little legs a little shake. Through the knees, through the calves, through the shins, through the hips. Now I'm going to think that there is a little bit of a string from the center part of my lower back and through the third eye of my forehead to lengthen me down to the floor. And as I make my way all the way down to the floor, I'm just going to make sure that my full body is here on the mat so that you can see. Again, I'm in a big letter X. Big letter X. Legs are stretched out nice and long in front of me. Feet are still nice and flexed. Where there is any tension, let it go by gently rocking side to side. Let the fingertips give a little twinkle, twinkle, little star, rocking side to side. Again, side to side through the hips. Then letting all that tension go, the legs may flop open out to the side. If there's any arch through that spine, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, let the weight go down into the floor. Let the floor hold you. Letting the legs turn back in, we begin a gentle heel rock. That heel rock is allowing the body to go forward and backwards or up and down. Making sure that the toes are up towards the sky, the knees are up towards the sky. The arms are stretching long above you. The spine becomes even more expansive here on the floor. The fleshy part of your glutes are on the floor. You can feel them rocking forward and back, lengthening nice and long through those fingertips. Still finding that vocal resonance on a Playing along with me as we open up and we make contact with ourselves. Let the body be still. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Step 2, we bring that elbow to knee. I am bringing my left elbow towards my left knee, then back into that big letter X. What's so wonderful about elbow to knee is that I'm remaining in contact with the floor, then lengthening my body back into that big letter X. Notice how I'm not having to bring my head up or my leg off of the floor. That would be adding tension. We're still finding the weightlessness within our bodies, still letting gravity do its thing. Lengthening nice and long on that opposite side. So I have left elbow to left knee. I'm lengthening nice and long through my heel on the right side and long through my fingertips on the right side. Look, I look a little bit like a check mark when I go into elbow to knee. And I'm doing the exact same thing opposite side. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And now I can add a little bit of speed on it. I'm going to add in those 3 steps that we've already played with. Rocking side to side. Twinkling my fingers, twinkling the toes into the heel rock. Toes are facing up to the sky. Knees are facing up to the sky. The leg is in parallel. The head is shaking, yes. Motion of exhalation, elbow to knee. You choose which side makes sense to you. If the eyes happen to close, it's all right, it's all right, it's all right, as my movement teacher used to say to us. But as much as you can, keep the body weighted down into the floor. Let the floor do its thing, then find that stillness. Which we know that stillness isn't actually still. There's still things happening on the inside of your body. But from this position, you're able to feel those things more. You may find that you want to adjust as I am. Let's play with those 3 exercises again. Little shake of the hips side to side. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, fingers and toes. Heel rock. Head is shaking, yes, lengthening nice and long through those heels, through the arch of the foot, long through the backs of the legs, through the fronts of the legs, through the back, through the fronts of your torso, elbow to knee. 1. And other side. Moving more and more into the flow of this main set of the onset technique. Now we're moving on into our 4th step, fetal position. Articulate through the spine as you come here. Really make yourself into a little ball without bringing your head up off of the floor. Remain in contact with the floor. Then making a little half circle with the arm and the leg. I used my right side that time. Now I'm going into a fetal position on the opposite side, articulating through the spine, through the hips. Let the body rest once you get there. Back into that big letter X, lengthening nice and long through the toes. That once more each side. Take your time. Get curious. Get playful. Get fearless with this little fetal position. Finding yourself back into that big letter X. Finding that length and longevity through the body. Let there be stillness. And heel rock. Head is shaking, yes. Finding our chest voices more now. On an H-U-H sound. Elbow to knee. Elbow to knee, opposite side. Playing with that right and left, left and right. Once more each side. Then we move on into our fetal position. For me, that's towards the camera, so that's my left side. And stretching, elongating back into that big letter X. On into the fetal position, opposite side. And stretching, elongating back into that big letter X. Same thing again, each side. Back into that big letter X. Gently let those hips rock side to side. You may find a little buzzy within your nose. Maybe scrunch your face up, find that tension. And then release that tension through the face. Then find that tension. Sounds a little nasally when you make that tension. Hips are still rocking side to side. Then release that tension. Let there be stillness through the hips. Lengthening nice and long through the fingertips. On that left side, then flexing through the foot on that left side. Now imagine that I am pulling you from your ankle and pulling you from your wrist in opposite directions. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. There should feel a little tension, then let it go. Oh, look at that tension on that side. Let's make sure that we're nice and balanced on the opposite side, yeah? Lengthening nice and long through the fingertips on the right side. Flexing through that right foot on that right side. Now lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Imagine that I'm stretching you from the ankle, from the wrist. Oh, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Then release that tension. Oh, let the floor hold you. Gorgeous, friends. Let the legs turn into parallel. We draw the sole of the right foot up. Now we're going to draw the sole of the left foot up. Gently let the knees rock side to side. If the head started to have a little bit of an arch, find that length through the neck. Gently letting the knees rock side to side. Gently letting the knees fall towards that right side. The spine is beginning to twist. Let the left arm circle above the head and then across and then up and over. Lengthening nice and long through the fingertips on that right side. You're still finding length. Maybe you're following the fingertips now. Eyes are open. As that left hand makes its way back towards that high V, let the legs come back. Knees are facing up to the sky. Soles of the feet are nice and flat. Let the knees fall towards that left side. Twisting through the spine. Right arm is making a little circle above the head and then down towards the legs and across the body. Up and over. That same thing once more. And by once more, I do mean like 3 or 4 more times. Classic teacher line, look what. As that right arm makes its way back towards that big high V, we let the legs come back towards center. Small little rock side to side. Finding the soles of the feet there on the floor. Now gently shake the hips side to side. Imagine that your sits bones are directly in alignment with your heels, as they should be. Yeah, maybe your hip bones are right in alignment with your knees as they should be, thus your shoulders being in alignment with your hip bone. Spine is nice and long from the crown of your head through the coccyx. Toes are nice and long. motion of exhalation, we let there be stillness. We gently bring that right leg off of the floor. Now we bring that left leg off of the floor. Arms are still lengthened nice and long above you. Lengthen that left leg back down to the floor. Lengthen the right leg back down to the floor. Repeat that again. Right leg up. Left leg up. Left leg down. Right leg down. That again. You just activated your core. That again. Right leg up. Left leg up, left leg down, right leg down. Let's add in the arms. Right leg up, right arm up, left leg up, left arm up, and left leg, left arm, both at the same time lowered down. Right arm, right leg, both lowered down same time. One at a time, right leg up, right arm up, left leg up, left arm up, left leg and left arm lowered down same time, right leg, right arm lowered down same time. You guessed it, it's coming up both same time. And wow, down and up. Belly button is in towards that spine. Spine is nice and long here on the floor. Neck is nice and long. Now, if I can talk to you throughout this entire time, I know that my diaphragm must be widening and expanding. I'm using my chest voice here. I've done so much vocal resonance before all of this. I've made contact with my voice enough that I know that diaphragm is widening and expanding. I have stopped here in a little bit of a dead bug because now I'm going to lengthen nice and long my left leg and my right arm. I'm working in opposition. Now I'm bringing it back up in this dead bug, and I'm going to lengthen my left arm and my right leg nice and long away from the center part of my body and back in. That same thing again. Left leg reaches nice and long, right arm reaches nice and long. And right leg, left arm lengthens nice and long. Can you keep your right arm reaching up to the sky as you do this, right? So as you are working in opposition, you are still making sure that you have stability. One arm lengthening up to the sky, one leg lengthening up to the sky in a parallel position. You guessed it, both at the same time. Let's go. Making a big letter X, but the arms and legs don't touch the floor. Back up and stretch and elongate. Back up. Whoa. Breathing in through the nose here in this dead bug. Now exhale. Whoa. And back up. Yeah, you heard that little vibrato come on in as I stretch and elongate it. Let it happen. And up. Oh, once more. High core activation. Up. Gorgeous. Knees into the chest. Let the legs sway side to side. Not quite a happy baby, but giving yourself some love. Letting the knees gently roll in towards each other. Then letting the legs fall to one side, twisting through the spine, lengthening nice and long through that right arm, looking towards that right arm, flexing through those feet. And coming up, letting the legs go through center to then fall to the opposite side, lengthening nice and long through the fingertips, twisting through the spine, looking over towards those left fingertips. Arms are in a nice letter T. hugging the knees in towards the chest. We stretch and elongate that right leg nice and long. We hug in that left leg towards the chest. Be mindful here that we're not lifting up through our hip, but that we are lengthening nice and long, trying to keep our hips in alignment with each other in one gorgeous line. Lengthening that hip flexor, switching it out. Some people like to interlace their fingers as they hug their knee in towards their chest. Some people like to have one hand above or touching high up on their shin and then one closer to their ankle. Whichever way feels best for you. It's all right, it's all right, it's all right. Yeah. I have my feet here flexed. My hip is down, my spine is long. I do that same thing once more each side. Belly button is pulled in towards my spine. If now we want to allow that hip to come up, to then find that adjustment, that alignment again, let it happen, lifting up. Then finding that alignment. Gorgeous. Switching the legs out last time. Lengthening nice and long on that left side, even as you bring that right leg in towards your torso, hugging it in. Playing with that alignment through the hip. Always moving. It's very important here that we don't stay with anything too long. This is an active warm-up. We're moving through everything. We're not holding any, we're not in a static stretch, meaning we're not staying here for any longer than 30 seconds. Yeah. Gently rocking the head side to side. Twinkling those fingers and toes. Fetal position. I'm going towards the camera, which is my left side. And as I am here, I'm gently letting my right leg swing forward and back in parallel. The knee stays bent. And then motion of exhalation. I let that right arm bring me up. And I'm going to open the legs. Toes are touching towards each other. Fetal position, opposite side. Head is still nice and heavy into the floor. And I begin small little leg swings here. Keeping that left leg nice and bent. And then motion of exhalation, I find that fetal position again. I let that left arm open me back up. I get to repeat that again. Leg swings. Maybe this time a little bit faster since the hips know that they were going to open. The knee continues to stay bent. And opening it up, same thing opposite side. 1. And back. This time we lengthen nice and long through those legs. I have flipped over my hands. My palms are touching the floor. And now I'm going to lengthen it out. I'm back into that big letter X, yeah? Leg is lengthening nice and long. You may find that your knee wants to bend. Let it. If that leg likes to stretch out nice and long, let it. And then back into that big letter X. And now we get to flex through that right leg. Ooh, we are upright. Hello. Now I'm going to lengthen it all the way back down through my fingertips. Back through that big letter X. Same thing, other side. Rolling up through the spine and reaching it nice and long through those fingertips back down. Oh, nice little rolls, yeah. Oh, this time we're going to bring that right leg on up into a bit of a kneel. Head stays down. Small little rocks forward and back. And then rondejaming or swinging that leg back down to the floor, opening up that torso. Same thing, opposite side. A little bit of a rock, forward and back. We're making our way on up. You may find yourself wanting to do some circles here, by all means. Let it happen. Let it happen. And then rondejaming, swinging that leg behind you, opening up that torso. Small little circle. Same thing once more each side. Gorge, 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 friends. Beautiful, friends. Nice little leg swings. Arms are free. Let it be whatever it needs to be. Making your way on back to that kneeling position. And now we get to unwind. Gently staying over on those bent knees, swaying side to side. You're almost up to standing. Hot damn. Gorgeous. Going back down the way you came, sending that right leg behind you. My left arm weaves through, so now my left leg lengthens nice and long. I found my way back into my big letter X. I do the exact same thing up opposite side. Unwind and gently swaying side to side. And making my way back down, my right leg tucks. My right arm lengthens nice and long. It threads the needle. I'm back into that big letter X. Oh. Little fetal position with leg swings and arm swings. See how easy it is just to make contact with your body, to find flow and connectivity from the floor to kneeling, to standing, to unwinding. We are bringing this motion of contact to a close. I'll see you in our next video where we get to warm up in a full standing position. See you in a second, friends.